Hello everyone and welcome to today's healing subscription. So as mentioned in last week's session, as homework we got the jaw reset. So we're going to go through the jaw reset today. Just giving you a heads up, this is a little bit of a long session and you want to listen to the whole session because you are doing this along with me. This is going to be, you need at least about 45 minutes that you're going to set aside where you're going to physically do the actions. Very, very important. This is about you taking responsibility for your health and taking that on board and doing the process. Okay, so very important to follow along. This is one of those videos you do not want to play at double or triple speed. I know I am one of those people who listen to YouTube videos at double, triple speed because I don't have a lot of time. But for this particular one, you're going to want to do this at normal speed. Actually, you need about 90 minutes to do this one properly, but I'll give you a run around with that one. The reason for 90 minutes is because we run through one cycle at 45 minutes with eyes open. Not like crazy open, but it just has to be open. And then the second time you run around through it again, but that time with eyes closed. So we normally would do like blindfold or something so that you don't accidentally open your eyes or you don't forget to keep your eyes closed. And that's because we want to access both parts of the brain, the sort of the wake state as well as the sleeping state. The jaw is intimately connected with the hips and the pelvis. So if your jaw is out of alignment, your hips and your pelvis go out of alignment and vice versa. And so very important, the more you can work around the jaw and loosening up the jaw, the more you loosen up your hips and your pelvis as well. So it's a really amazing system. It's not painful. It can be, there are some parts where it can be a little bit sensitive, but we can manage the pain. It's not like I'm going to kill you right now. Okay, so let's start in with our normal tuning that we do. I'm going to share a screen with you and then we'll share our light code for today. A little bit more of a complex light code today. And I'm focusing on the light code for healing. And there's a lot happening in this one. So I don't expect you to focus on all of this, but just allow your eyes to drop down onto this image and allow it to fall where it falls. Take a moment to take a few cleansing breaths in and out. Think about what it is that you would like to receive, let go of, or heal in today's session. So yes, we are working with the jaw reset, but that doesn't mean that we've got to focus only on the jaw. As I've mentioned, the jaw is connected with the hips, so hip alignment, and the hips can be associated with your truth and your direction that you move in life, how you hold yourself, how flexible you are to your approach in life. While the jaw would be that connection between the throat and the third eye centers, about speaking your truth, being authentic, and being able to see the vision of the bigger future, or the bigger picture. So whatever it is that you want to focus on in today's session, what would you like to release? What would you like to receive? And allow your eyes to just be guided to land wherever they do, trace whatever lines they do. And you may pause the recording if you need more time here. So take your time, don't rush this. And when you're ready, we're going to move into the jaw reset. So let's share a screen. Okay, so get yourselves comfortable. I hope you've got your bottle of water ready. I'm going to switch my video off because I've got everything running on this video. All the instructions that you need will be on here. And let's get going. So play. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are starting with drinking some water. And so the water helps to clear out toxins that's in the body and that we're going to be releasing. It doesn't have to be a big long glass, even if it's just a few sips. So our first position that we have is on the kidneys. If you can reach, this is a little bit of a tough one, as you can see, even with the photograph, my hands were not quite in alignment. We're focusing on the kidney area, so it's just on the lower part of the ribs. Placing your hands down lightly on the kidneys. Just hold this. Remember to keep your eyes open. Please keep eyes open, no closing of the eyes. So we want to focus on just sending healing energy to the kidney areas so as we may release any toxins. Breathe slow and deep throughout this process. Remember to keep the eyes open. Open eyes focuses on the awake, alert brain or mind. About 30 seconds to go before we're going to change positions. Next, you're going to place your hands on the upper trapezius, on the neck and the shoulder area. So your fingers can wrap around the neck and your hands can rest on the top of your shoulders. So just see where it feels comfortable. I like it a little bit more on the shoulder area, but I also like to cover the neck area. So with the thumb pads over the trapezius or the neck muscles, the shoulder muscles, sorry, and then around the neck. Remember to keep eyes open over here. This is to help with any tension that we have in the neck and shoulders as the trapezius stretches up into the back of the occiput and then wraps over the head with a big tendon. And it helps to remove any toxins from the head area. Breathe slow and deep. Keeping the eyes open. It doesn't matter where you focus. You can just focus off into the distance. You could even sit and read a book if you really wanted to. But the big thing here is that you just keep your posture up and you relax as much as possible. Another 30 seconds to go here. Next, we're focusing on masseter. So you're going to place your hands on your jaw. The masseter is that muscle that when you bite down on your teeth, you'll feel that muscle will pop out a little bit. So your palms are over the masseter and your fingers just resting up. Your thumbs can be over your ears, or you can rest them lightly behind the ears. Jaw closed for this one, so we're working with the top image. And very important to keep the mouth closed here and eyes open. Breathe slow and deep. If you have been attuned to Reiki, you will probably feel the Reiki energy flowing. Even if you haven't, you may feel that there's quite a bit of heat coming up along the hands, so under the hands. The mouth is closed. You're not biting down on the jaw. The mouth is just closed. And so we're focusing here, as I've mentioned, the masseter muscle. There's also the medial pterygoid muscle and the buccinator. And then we've got some other muscles that link in with that, like the temporalis and the zygomatic major and the lateral pterygoid. Those are all very anatomical. You may not know where they are, but where possible, I will just mention to you where they will fit in. Like the temporalis is obviously the one that goes onto the temple bones. Another 45 minutes or 45 seconds over here. 15 seconds, where's my math? I really struggle with math. And then what we're going to do is when our timer runs out, you're going to keep your hands in the position where they are, but you're going to open your jaw as wide as you possibly can. And we're going to keep this position for 2 minutes. So now it's all about mouth breathing over here, I guess. You can continue breathing through the nose though, but if it feels a bit uncomfortable, you can breathe through the mouth. Personally, I prefer to continue breathing through the nose, as I feel that the breathing through the mouth dries my mouth a little bit too much. Keep the eyes open, keep the jaw open as wide as you possibly can, and breathe slow and deep. Another 30 seconds to go in this position, continuing to breathe nice, slow and deep, eyes open, jaw open. Okay, next we're focusing mainly on the masseter. So clench your teeth, cup your fingers together, like put the pads of the fingers together, and you're going to press that onto the masseter. So you clench your teeth, that'll find where the muscle is. Once you've got the muscle, you just relax the muscle and you apply a little bit of pressure onto the masseter with your fingers all grouped together. Eyes are open, jaw closed, but not tight. So just mouth closed, and breathe slow and deep. With the breath and the pressure that you apply, there is a very gentle massage that's taking place, almost not noticeable, but you'll feel as you keep pressing into the belly of this muscle, how the muscle will perhaps get a little bit more tender and it will start to soften under the hold. Another 30 seconds to go. Continue breathing slow and deep. Eyes are open. Keeping your fingertips where they are, we're going to open the jaw as wide as you possibly can, and you're going to keep it here. Again, you can continue breathing through the nose, or you may breathe through the mouth. My personal preference, as I'd mentioned before, is breathing through the nose. For some people, it is a bit harder, so just see what works for you. Keep applying pressure to the muscle, to the masseter, while the jaw is nice and wide and open. Eyes remain open throughout this process. With the jaw open, you can also apply a little bit more pressure to the muscle if you feel comfortable doing that. If it is sensitive or it's feeling a bit tender, you can do a little bit less pressure. It's just about reaching that muscle and sending the message through to the muscle and also keeping the muscle stretched while we're doing this work. Another 30 seconds to go. Keeping the eyes closed, we're working with the temporalis. So we're just working with the top photograph, placing your palms onto the temple area of your head, so just above the zygomatic bone. And you can cover your ears, or I like to actually have it a little bit higher than the ears. On the photo, my hands look like they're a little bit low. It's probably just because the thumbs are hooking in underneath my ears, and I like to have my palms higher up. Eyes remain open and jaw is closed. You're breathing through the nose, nice, slow, and deep. The temporalis muscle can actually hold a lot of tension. This is what helps us to chew and to move our jaw up and down. And if the temporalis muscle is tight, it can actually cause some severe headaches. There's these temple headaches that we get, perhaps with migraines and sometimes with sinusitis. Another 30 seconds to go. Breathe nice and slow and deep. Eyes are open, jaw is closed. Okay, now opening the jaw. Hands remain in the location where they are. And you're going to breathe slow and deep. Again, you can breathe through the nose or through the mouth, whatever is comfortable for you. Keep the eyes open, nice slow deep breathing. Another 30 seconds to go. Breathe nice and slow and deep. Eyes open. Next, we focus on the zygomatic minor and major. So take all the fingertips, pads, and push underneath the zygomatic bone. That's your cheekbone. So push the fingers up underneath. You'll feel that there's a little bit of a muscle that you'll hit into, which will be your zygomatic muscles. And you're going to apply a bit of pressure. Eyes are open, your jaw is closed, and you're breathing nice and slow and deep. This one can be a little bit sensitive. I'm actually holding mine right now. And this is really great for the sinuses. So they can help with draining out the sinuses. Can also be one of those ones that if you've got toothache, it can be a little bit more tender than usual. So just modulate your pressure to what works for you. Eyes are open, breathing slow and deep. Another 30 seconds to go here. Continue breathing slow and deep. Apply as much pressure as you can over here. Keeping the fingers in this position, you're going to open the jaw nice and wide as you can. You'll notice that when you open your jaw, the zygomatic muscles will actually start to stretch, so they'll push your fingers out a little bit more. And here you can take the opportunity to apply more or less pressure depending on what works for you. Continue to breathe nice and slow and deep. Keep the eyes open. Even if the eyes wander around and they look at all kinds of things, that's all okay. We're accessing the more active, awake part of the brain. In the second round, you would want to do this with eyes closed, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. "30 seconds to go. Continuing to breathe slow and deep. Jaw is still open, as wide as you possibly can, applying as much pressure to the muscle as you can. Okay, we're going to be just underneath the zygomatic bone, so just under the cheekbone, so just in front of the ear a little bit. You're going to push your fingertips in on that area. You feel there's a little bit of a soft part under the cheekbone. So we've got quite a few different muscles here and some tendons and ligaments that we're working with. You can apply quite a bit of pressure here. Eyes are open, nice, slow, deep breathing. So this is a really great one if you're struggling with tinnitus or that ringing in the ear. Working on the lateral pterygoid muscle. Working on the ligament for the TMJ, the temporal mandibular ligament. Keeping eyes open, jaws closed, breathing through the nose, nice, slow and deep. About 30 seconds to go. Keeping the fingers in this position, you're going to open your jaw as wide as possible. Now, when you do this, it's going to feel like the fingers may want to slide a little bit. Just continue applying pressure over here. This is a little bit, it's one of those ones that's a little bit harder to keep your jaw open as wide as you can, but keep it as wide as you can throughout this process. Breathe slow and deep. Apply as much pressure here as you need, or as heavy as you feel comfortable. Keep the jaw open, keep pressing, nice slow deep breathing. About 30 seconds to go. Continuing to breathe nice, slow and deep. Eyes are open, jaw is open. Okay, we're working with the TMJ over here, so the temporomandibular joint. So the joint is really just in front of your ears. If you open and close your jaw and press a little bit in, you'll feel that jaw move. So just place your palms over that joint and cup your fingers. So you're going to be covering your ears for this one. And eyes are open, nice slow deep breathing, jaw is closed. Usually when we get to this part, it gets very tempting to close your eyes. Don't close the eyes. Keep the eyes open. Keep focusing on something, even if you have to read a book or whatever it is, but don't close your eyes. We want to keep everything open and active. Another 30 seconds to go over here. It's a nice light hold. There's no pressure. Just holding. It's nice and relaxing. Eyes open. Continue to breathe. And now open the jaw, eyes are open, hands remain where they are. Have the jaw open as wide as you possibly can. We're also indirectly working on the temporalis muscle again here. Obviously there's a lot more coming into play with the different bones and different muscles that we have. So masseter and all of those muscles we've worked on before coming into play again. Keeping eyes open, jaw open, breathe slow and deep. As you breathe, perhaps see that you slow and deepen that process. Perhaps pause a moment on the exhale. Pause a moment on the inhale. Allowing that space between the inhalation and the exhalation to take place. About 15 seconds to go over here. Next, we're working on the joint itself. So cup all your fingers together, similar to what we did with the masseter, and place that directly on the joint. So if you open and close your jaw a few times, and then you'll find that spot, and then you're just gonna hold there. You don't need a lot of pressure over here. It's just really just touching and balancing that joint. Jaw remain closed. Keep the eyes open, breathing slow and deep. Another 30 seconds to go over here. Nice, slow, deep breathing. Not too much pressure, just holding that TMJ joint. Here's a video coming in for this one. So what you do with this one is take the jaw over to one side. Place your hand there, and the other hand can go along the top. The fingers are touching here. The jaw is slightly open, so just jaw to the side. Hold, hand, and then relax. So there's no major pressure on the jaw. We're not pulling the jaw. We're just holding the jaw in that location. Breathe slow and deep. Relax the jaw as much as possible in this location. So we're stretching the ligaments. And as we stretch the ligaments, we allow them to release even more. We give them permission to release. Don't try and break the jaw off. You're just holding it in position. Eyes are open, nice slow deep breathing. Another 30 seconds to go over here. We're going to repeat the same on the other side as well. So jaw to the side. Place your hand down, other hand on top, however that works. So you can also go like that. Doesn't matter which one of the hands you use, just see what feels comfortable for you. Again, no pressure, and you want to just hold the jaw in that position. Eyes open, nice slow deep breathing. No pressure, no force on that jaw. You're just holding it in that position, getting the jaw to relax and release as much as possible. Keep the eyes open. It gets hard when we get to the end over here. You just want to close your eyes, but keep them open. We're focusing on that awake and alert side of the brain. Another 30 seconds to go over here. Keep the eyes open, keep your pressure, or no pressure, I mean just hold the jaw in position. Guess you know what I mean. And now we're working with the neck itself. So look up and place your hands on the neck with your fingers slightly curling around the side of the neck and your heels of your hands touching at the base. You can have a bit of a space open. We're working with those big muscles, the sternocleidomastoid, digastric, and the platysma. Keep your jaw closed. So here you may have to pull up a little bit more. You may feel a bit more pressure as we pull up. Keep the eyes open and nice, slow, deep breathing. These neck muscles allow us to move side to side with the neck. Helps with stabilizing and opening and closing of the jaw, and it connects to the temporal bone, which also have the temporalis on. So there's all these connections running through into the head. Eyes remain open, nice, slow, deep breathing. We've got 30 seconds to go over here. You don't have to hold a firm pressure over here, it's just a light hold. Really, it's just about sending that healing energy into the muscles. And keeping your hands in the position where they are, just open the jaw, continue to look up. So we continue to stretch those muscles and you hold that position. Eyes are open, nice, slow, deep breathing. Keeping eyes open, nice, slow, deep breathing. Keep holding that position. Another 30 seconds to go. Continuing to breathe slow and deep. And we're coming back to our trapezius muscle that we did in the beginning. So that's on the trapeze. You can either do on the shoulders or you can do it a little bit more cupped around the neck. I like to try and cover as much of this area as possible. So covering the trapezius on the shoulders as well as into the neck. Eyes open. During this time, you just want to have your eyes closing. I know I keep wanting to do it myself. You can remind yourself to open your eyes, nice, slow, deep breathing. So we just want to release any toxins from the head area, and we want to release any tension that we may have in the neck and the shoulders. Keep the eyes open, nice, slow, deep breathing. Another 30 seconds to go over here. Keeping the eyes open, breathing nice and slow and deep. And back to the kidney area. So we're going to hold this for 3 minutes. So just reaching for the ribs as close as you can. If you're struggling to this, even if you get a little bit lower with your hands, that's okay. We just want to get in that area of the kidneys. Breathing nice and slow and deep, keeping the eyes open. Keep breathing, nice, slow, deep, relaxed. Almost done. Keeping the eyes open, holding this position, nice, slow, deep breathing. About another almost 45 seconds to go. Almost done. And we want to finish off with drinking some more water. It's all about our detox. Okay, so let's stop the share. Hope you're feeling wonderful after that one. It is quite a nice exercise. Now, what you want to do in your own time is to do this again, but with eyes closed. Now, when doing it with eyes closed, you can open your eyes just to check what the next position is. If you forgot, that's fine, but you keep your eyes closed for the whole duration. What you could do is to cycle it through. So perhaps one day do it with eyes open, and the next day do it with eyes closed. Or you could even do eyes open, wait 2 or 3 days, and then do it with eyes closed, wait 2 or 3 days, and then do it with eyes open again, etc., etc. Do this as often as you feel you need it. So obviously we don't always need to have our jaw reset or realigned, but when you feel that your jaw is out, or maybe even when your hips are out, then you may want to do this. So this concludes our session for today. I'm going to give you no other homework other than maybe doing the jaw reset with your eyes closed. As always, it's a pleasure to do this work with you, and I hope that you gain benefit from this as much as I do, giving this information and this healing to you guys. Because while you were busy doing that, I was holding space. I'm actually sweating quite a bit, a lot of energy. I'm actually still hot. Energy is still going. So there's quite a bit happening in the background. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I see you in our next session. Take care.